I'm so excited to tell you about our partner, Isomer Skincare Laboratories. You guys, rooted in science and integrity, in the best ingredients and best delivery systems. Unlike any other skincare on the market, for over 30 years, they've been giving you the real science. So this isn't trend. This isn't the hot ingredient of the day on TikTok. This is 30 years of solving your skincare problems. So we're partnering with them today. Happy 20, HAPPY20 gets you 20% off your order. You have free shipping and handling at $100 or more, and they have a solution for every problem. Mature, aging skin, they've got you covered. Sinking, sagging skin, they've got you covered. You can take a really easy test on isomers.ca. And it will recommend exactly what you need for your skincare needs. Or you can go in there and find some of their icons like the Copper P serum. They've got an amazing pure hyaluronic acid, nothing but hyaluronic acid. Their Fast Lift Eye Serum is an industry icon. That's all available at their website. You go to isomers.ca. You use the code HAPPY20. Please use that so they know that we sent you. You get 20% off your order. You'll get free shipping and handling at $100 or more. And if you don't know where to start, take that quiz. It will tell you exactly what to do. Happy 20 at isomers.ca. Hey, everybody. So happy you're here.
So happy you're here.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. So fun.
Welcome
I just want to stay all day.
Well, you can.
Okay,
good news. You're in the good company to stay all day.
Fair enough.
Hey, everybody. It's So Happy You're Here podcast. I'm Erin. This is Becky, as hopefully you know by now. This is our friend, Patric Richardson.
Hi.
A lot of you probably already know him, the Laundry Evangelist.
Yep.
He's written 2 best-selling books. He had his own show on HGTV, No Big Deal, and the Discovery Channel.
We're in the presence of greatness.
No.
On your favorite television show, so he's no stranger to a microphone. Good news. And he happens to be neighbors with us. We're based in Minneapolis. He's based in St. Paul, so we're lucky enough to have him. Thank you, Patric.
Yeah, I'm so excited. So
well, we've been trying to do this for how long?
I don't know, a long time.
A long time.
A long time.
Lots of DMs. Listen, I slid into those DMs.
Yeah,
I
no,
sure
I mean,
did.
We've gone way back, but it just,
Yes.
the timing, it gets weird.
I know.
Minnesota winter.
Well, and you're
Yeah.
busy. You have one of the most successful stores in the Mall of America.
Yeah, well, there's that.
I mean, listen, this is a booked and busy man. So we're very excited.
Blessed.
Yes, we're very excited to have him here. And one of the reasons, not only because of his incredible background and all the things he's doing in the laundry community and on television and with his books or the growing community.
Yes.
But also, what goes hand in hand with fashion? We've been talking fashion for over a decade. Laundry. I mean, all of your fashion. Becky was teasing me last week. She thought I was a hoarder. I call it a collector of great clothes. The thing that goes best with your fashion is great laundry.
Yes.
So what we're going to do, we're going to dive into all your laundry questions. We're definitely going to talk laundry and cleaning and keeping your clothes and your home at its best. But before you get to all the laundry solutions, there's a big history here.
Yeah, kind of goes way back.
How did you start in laundry? How did this all happen, Patric?
So it's funny. I loved laundry when I was a little kid. My dad was a builder. So he used to take me with him when we would go to appliance stores to buy appliances for the kitchen or for the house or whatever. And I would also look at the blueprints, and I always wanted to see the laundry room. And when we would go to somebody's house, I wanted to see their laundry room.
Really?
To tell you how far back this goes, my birthday's in November. So when I was barely 3, I'd been 3 a month, Santa brought me a toy washing machine.
Real?
Yes. Yeah, you can see it. It's in my store at the Mall of America.
Oh my gosh.
So my love of laundry goes all the way back.
And what do you think it is about laundry that created love?
Well, I talk about this in the book. It's actually the opening story in my book. One of my earliest memories is handing my granny clothespins to put clothes on the clothesline. And so I associate laundry with somebody loving me and taking care of me.
It is caretaking.
And so I'd say, one of the things I say most often, and I'm probably a broken record, is you do laundry for people that you love.
That's right.
And it's a total love language. My brother is a social worker, and I asked him once, just point blank, because, you'll find out I'm not afraid to speak my mind. I asked him once, if kids go to school in dirty clothes, do you remove them from their home?
Oh.
And he's like, no, we wouldn't. And I said, okay, so you don't have to do your kids' clothes. You do them because you love them and you want to take care of them.
Is that the sweetest?
And it's the truth. I told my mom that, and she said, Patric, I can go further. when your brother was in second grade, my brother is a jeans and t-shirts kind of guy.
Okay.
When I went to school, like there was several years I didn't own a pair of jeans because I always went to school in like khakis, a shirt, and a tie, and we didn't have school
Even
uniforms.
as a little guy?
Yeah, we didn't have school uniforms.
Great style too. guys.
That's right.
I just
Style.
did. So, but my brother was a jeans and t-shirts guy. So my mom used to iron his jeans just so that something would look pressed.
With
so
a little
that,
crease? How'd
no,
she do it?
she ironed them flat.
Okay.
But she did it so that he would look pressed, so that it looked like he was cared for.
Yes.
And I think that there's really something to that. You know, I love doing laundry for somebody else.
Yeah.
There's another story in the book that is kind of sad, but great at the same time. When my mother's father died, one of her friends came to our house. Jared and I were both kids when that happened. And one of her friends came to our house and did all the laundry.
What an
You
act
know,
of service.
It's such a great act of
Yeah.
service because, you know, you bring food, but you don't think like these people have to exist. They
You're
have
right.
to go on. And so she just came, let herself in, did all the laundry, did all the ironing, and left.
That's a tip if you need to help somebody,
Yeah.
a new mama.
I had a friend who was in a car wreck, and I was, you know, and it's like, what do you do? You know, I mean, I can't really like set a cast.
Right.
But I was like, I'm coming
Not
over
yet.
to, not yet, maybe. But, you know, I could probably, I mean, I could piece it together. YouTube, I could probably do it. In a pinch. Now I feel with YouTube, I might be able to pull it off.
Chat GPT.
But,
See what
yeah,
they say.
for sure. But I said, well, I'm coming over to get your laundry. And he's like, oh, no. And I was like, oh, I didn't say, hey, did you want me to come get your laundry?
not an ask.
I said, I'm coming to get your laundry.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, and I said, I don't want to see you. Like, I don't have to see you. I will call you when I get close. You set it outside the door.
Hangers or box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we don't have to, you know,
Visit.
because I didn't want to visit. He didn't feel like visiting, but he
Right.
needed his laundry done.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know?
Patrick, that really, I
So-
mean, you don't think of it. Most of us think of laundry as a chore.
Yeah.
And then when you say it like that, the different perspective, it really is.
It's an act of love.
That's how you care for each other.
Yeah, because I mean, it's easy to make somebody dinner. I mean, I shouldn't say easy.
Speak for
If you
yourself.
like-
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, okay.
You are
Yourself.
talking.
but you know, you can make someone dinner, but how many dinners can you make?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when somebody passes away, everybody's like, do you want to get a warm meal? Well, I have 80 warm meals in the freezer. Like, I've got
Right.
chicken tetrazzini for the next 5 years. You know, but somebody coming to do the laundry when you're just, or for whatever reason, I mean, you're sick, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, fortunately, I have this like ridiculously incredible partner. And the first time I got COVID, he just went in my bedroom, stripped the bed while I was downstairs watching TV, and washed the sheets and put them back. Because he was like, I just wanted you to feel good when you went to sleep.
Patrick, what is better than getting into a bed with clean, just fresh sheets?
No, I don't.
That is healing.
I mean, a fountain Diet Coke
Let's go.
With a straw. Amen.
Let's go.
and climbing into the bed. That's about,
That's number 1 and 2.
you know, honestly,
Yes.
if we could do this. Okay, when we're done, we're going to get in the car. We're going to go get Diet Cokes. We're going to come back. We're going to put on jammies. We're going to climb in the bed and listen to this podcast.
Sip
And
our
listen to this
sodas.
podcast. I think
know it so well.
I mean, that is like the
day.
greatest.
That's it.
I mean, it's like, you know, middle of the afternoon, but it doesn't matter.
No,
right.
makes everybody happy.
Wait, what are we watching? What
We're gonna
shows are
listen
you
to this
watching?
podcast.
We're listening to
We're
gonna
ours.
re-listen
So
back to it.
happy you're here.
Yeah.
He already
right.
knows, Becky, that we watch ourselves and listen to ourselves still after all these years.
Yes, we do.
So there's great stories about laundry love and house love in Patrick's books. And we're going to tell you all about how to get those at the end of this episode and how to read through them because it's about so much more than laundry and the home. It's about showing that love. But now you have this amazing passion since 3 years old. I love how you talk about laundry, but not everybody's passion falls into business. And you have created.
I know, it's not hysterical.
You have created an international. I mean, Mark and Kelly are
Yeah.
asking you to come out and be on
GMA.
the television show. Good Morning
I know, it's
America.
hysterical.
It's incredible. A lot of people have passion, but
Right.
it doesn't move into business. How did this become a business?
So it's really funny because I loved clothes. I mean, I think that the fact that I loved laundry went with the fact that I loved clothes. You know, that's something we all share. So I studied apparel and textiles at the University of Kentucky. Then I went to work for Neiman Marcus. Then I went to work for Nordstrom, and I bought and managed designer apparel.
Awesome.
And so then, after that, like I opened a designer vintage store. I mean, that was really how it started. So I opened a designer vintage store, but I wanted people to be able to care for the clothes. So my passion was, fashion.
Right.
But I wanted people to be able to care for the clothes. And so I brought in some laundry products so they could do it. And then I realized, oh, yeah, this could be a thing. So I started Laundry Camp. That was how it actually started. And it was originally Clean Clothes and Dirty Martinis.
Cute.
Which was so fun, except nobody could remember how to do the laundry because I'm Southern and I'm very generous with the poor. And I would periodically through the night.
Yeah, generous with a martini pour, not with a detergent pour.
No.
That were very long.
Those are inverse, actually. So anyway, from there, like Laundry Camp led to the TV show and the book, and I just realized, kind of like you, like you've realized that people want to see you, and you've put yourself in a way that they can.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of realized people want to do laundry. They just don't know how.
Right.
And, I use this example when I do Laundry Camp or whatever. And it's a really good example. I think of my granny because she's so prominent in the first book, Granny Dude.
How did Granny Dude get her name?
We don't know.
Okay.
All right.
But I started calling her Granny Dude. And so then everyone else called her Dude so that I wouldn't be confused. Because she's a granny, right? So anyway, we don't know. We don't really know how it happened.
You might have done it.
Anyway, so
after camp and you started teaching, I didn't even know you could put designer clothes at home. I did not know you could care for.
I'll throw
Dry
a Chanel
clean,
jacket in the washing
big dry
machine with nothing.
Wait. You slow down and say that again.
I said I will throw a Chanel jacket in the washing machine like it's nothing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, without even hesitating. I mean, I wouldn't even slow down.
And it comes out just as
it's gorgeous. You know how I know this?
How?
You know how I can prove this?
Yeah.
Because we have museums, and museums have costume collections. And before the 1940s or 1950s, there weren't dry cleaners. So we have all these Victorian clothes because they use them whenever they're going to make, the next season of Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
They go look at the historic clothes. All the historic clothes were washed.
Wow.
They were all washed and sewed.
That's incredible.
So we know it works, right? I mean, I don't have to prove it.
No.
It's been proven for hundreds of years.
Yeah, but I think you're the one who's reminding us.
Yeah, and I'm making it more. I'm making it easier.
Yes.
Making it sexy.
Well,
Bringing laundry back.
Making it much easier. So I know. So you had a wildly popular television show, and Patrick goes like this. Oh, and then the television show and the
Gloss
book.
is
if
over.
I had my own television show on HGTV, that's how I would lead. Hello, you probably recognize me from HGTV. So you didn't go after.
No, they came and found me.
Yeah. So how'd that happen?
They came to Laundry Camp. One of the producers came to Laundry Camp, and after it was over, she said, you really should have your own TV show. And I said, you're totally right. Because I am charming and funny. I would be so great on TV. And she's like, no, really, I'm a producer. And I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, okay. And so then I started talking to her, and that's how it happened. It was amazing. And I had already pitched the book. So it all kind of came together right at once. And what's really funny is we pitched them at about the same time, and they appeared one day apart. I mean, it was like a really good week for me.
Good heavens.
Yeah, the book launched on Tuesday, the show launched on Wednesday.
So something Becky and I talk about a lot with the girls, because, laundry goes far beyond the act of laundry. Fashion goes far beyond. We think fashion is kind of your first kind of armor of the day, and laundry is such a great way to show care for yourself and others. And so all of a sudden this is all happening for you, right? And you have the laundry and the TV show and the books. But we also talk about when you find what you love and our passion for fashion, your passion for laundry, it attracts things, right?
Yeah.
It attracts. Do you feel like your authentic love for laundry attracted that producer, attracted those books?
Yeah, totally. I think that, it was a space that wasn't occupied.
Sure.
It wasn't that there were 30 people going, let me tell you about laundry.
Right.
Nobody was doing it. Now there are other people doing it. They're moving into the space, and people are like, well, he's copying you. And I'm like, I'm one of a kind, sweetie.
Yeah.
There's no...
You go on ahead and try.
Do what you got to do. But there's room for somebody else in the space. I don't like a lot of commercial products because I don't like a lot of chemicals.
Right.
So there's room for somebody to go into the space and do commercial products if that's what you want to do.
Right.
I would never, because I like living, but do what you want.
Same. We're so much alike.
But there are other people kind of doing their thing, and And, it's interesting. Like, I think that the other thing that happened is laundry, I kind of hit it at just the right time.
Okay.
Because manufacturers started moving into the laundry space too. Like, appliance manufacturers started caring about washers and dryers. Countertop manufacturers started realizing that we should do our laundry room. So I think it just came. I think a lot of it, you're really, really lucky when you work really, really hard, right? But I think sometimes you're just really, really lucky.
Timing it right.
And I came into it, at the right sort of moment.
Well, think about that. Even the steam cycle on machines now, that wasn't a thing.
No. And, my dryer actually has a cycle called Wear It Again that will steam it and tumble it at such a rate that it will knock out the wrinkles and it will remove like cigarette smoke or dog or pet hair.
What?
Or something. Yeah. And, that's brand new. It's
What
new to the
machine
industry.
do you have? Do you mind saying?
It's Electrolux.
Not sponsored, although Electrolux.
Yeah. Girls, let's all buy enough of them so they sponsor all of us.
So anyway,
together.
it's funny. I'll tell you a quick story about it. It's gorgeous, and I saw it and fell madly in love. It's Alpine Green, and my laundry room. I know, right?
Side by side,
Nice.
stackable.
Stackable.
Okay.
Because
style.
I couldn't put them. I don't have enough room because my laundry room is also the only bathroom in my house.
Really?
Yeah, my house is kind of small, and so
But it's from
1883.
Amazing.
So it's great. It's fabulous. I love it. But my laundry room is also, and I have joked that, and it's beautiful. It's like a matte finish with black trim. Ooh. And when I saw it, I said, "Oh my gosh, it looks like a Maserati."
I was just thinking that'd be beautiful
Sounds
for
like
a
a
car.
car.
Yeah, and it is. That's kind of, and so I've joked more than one time. It's really sad when you get out of the shower and you're not the sexiest thing, but you're the only person in there. You know what I mean?
But I love that your midlife crisis is an Electrolux
Yeah, and
stackable.
it's-
It's not a Corvette.
No, you know what? A Corvette wouldn't measure up. It's so.
You could never.
I mean, it's beautiful, and and I was just a fan. It just kind of that sort of happened. I hope to do something with them at some point in time.
Yeah,
You
that would be a
should.
great
You
partnership.
should partner with them because along the way too, and Becky and you have known each other for quite some time, and I was doing my research leading up to this. As much success as you've had with your books and with your television show and your store, and I mean, so many incredible television appearances, I've noticed you've pivoted a lot through your career.
Yeah.
And another thing that we'd like to talk a lot about with everybody with our community is you have to constantly be pivoting. You have to constantly be evolving. And I think sometimes we get at a place in life where we feel stuck, like this is just where things are. How do you keep turning the page?
Don't you think though that goes back to fashion?
Yes.
Because you see people who don't pivot with their fashion. Like my store's in the Mall of America, and sometimes I'll see a woman like with like helmet hair and like a sweater with like a lamb on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she was the hottest thing going in 1984.
Yeah.
Right.
And she was like, "This is it. I'm done."
I've peaked.
And the thing is, I think
fix it if
I
it's
think
not
with
broken.
everything about your life, you have to evolve.
Yeah.
I think that I've always wanted to be young. Like when I was young, I wanted to be young. But as I'm getting older, I'm in the early part of early middle age now. I'm older than either of you.
I don't know about that.
I think so. But I want to be young. Like my mentor was always young. He always embraced change and always embraced newness. And, I try to do that. Like I try to keep up with technology, and I'm not always great at it, but I try to.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that is part of pivoting. Like you always look for the next thing. And I think when you train your mind to look for the next thing, like for yourself, like to try new food or to go to new cities or whatever, then you also start doing that with your professional life. Like you start looking for the next opportunity. Martha Stewart started her career at 50.
That's a great reminder.
Right.
She didn't start when she was
right.
20. And I see people, and, I love HGTV. I still watch it a lot. And, you see like they're like 20 and they're so cute. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that when I was 22. I mean, could I now carry an entire kitchen's worth of cabinets up the stairs? Not only could I not, I'm not going to.
Thank you, no.
Because I've worked hard enough to pay somebody to do that for me.
Amen.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right.
So, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to die in a time capsule.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to stay current and stay excited.
Yeah.
Because you always find new things that excite you. And I think that if you can always do that with your career is always fun.
Mm-hmm. Do you think of it like work, though? Or are you just having fun?
I think it's a career. I don't think it's work.
Okay.
Because it's too much fun. I mean, I travel the country and talk to people about laundry. And how fun is that?
Yeah.
Because I go to cities where sometimes they're not places that I necessarily would have planned to go. And I get there and I fall in love.
Yeah.
You know, because that's great. I mean, because, you know, you think like I'm going to go on vacation and you think I'm like, in my case, if I need a weekend away, I go to New York, right? Or like if my partner needs a weekend away, it's Palm Springs.
Sure.
So those are easy, but you don't necessarily think I'm going to go to Evansville, Indiana.
Right.
But then you go and you're like, Evansville, Indiana is great.
That's so cool.
Why don't people come to Evansville, Indiana? You know, and so I think that's fun. So I can't really call it work.
Yeah.
You know, it's career, but it's just so fun.
What you need,
and I love to have fun. I mean, I love to have fun at my store. I hope that my staff has fun. I mean, I hope that customers have fun. I just want everybody to have fun. And, you know, and I talk of my book, going back to that, because, you know, shameless plug.
Well, obviously.
But, you know, got to do what you got to pay the bills here.
Anything to help me love laundry.
You know,
I will read it.
but you put a disco ball in. You know, one of my most famous tips is hang a disco ball in your laundry room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's fun, you know, crank up the tunes and don't act like, oh, I've got to go do the laundry. And, you know, when I was a kid, long before you were born, when I was a kid, you would watch sitcoms and they were very sexist at the time. So it was always the mom. And the mom would always be like, oh,
Yes.
I've got to go make dinner for the kids.
Put a palm.
Yes.
You know, just, oh, I can't believe it. You know who else makes dinner for the kids? Well, she doesn't make dinner for the kids. You know who else makes dinner? Ina Garten.
Yes.
And it's fun. And she thinks it's fun. My mother in 1976 put the chicken in the Harvest Gold double oven the exact same way that Ina Garten puts the chicken in the stainless steel double oven.
You're right.
The difference is Ina Garten decided it was fun. They told my mom it was work. They told Ina Garten it was a hobby.
Yeah.
It's the exact same chicken and it's the exact same method. The only difference is somebody decided it was a hobby and people decided cooking was a hobby and they started selling cookbooks. Cookbooks are the number one selling book category. There are stores in the mall and wherever you are devoted to cooking. There are cooking stars. There are 2 networks devoted strictly to cooking. And now NBC is getting ready to launch a cooking show with Martha Stewart. So cooking became a hobby, not because it was any harder, but because we decided it was a hobby.
It's just a spin.
So it's time to decide that laundry is fun. I think laundry's fun. Like I saw some chocolate cake in there and whenever this is done, I'm going to have some. And I didn't want to have it before because I didn't want to have it on my shirt. But if I get it on my shirt and when you're good at stain removal, it's because you're good at stain making. But when I get it on my shirt, I like to win.
Yeah.
I like to get it out.
Oh, you're competitive.
Yeah. And so it's fun.
You're gonna eat that cake and beat it too.
That's
yeah,
right.
exactly. There it is. But you know, it's fun. And it's those sorts of things like it's just getting the right tools, doing the right thing. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
No.
It doesn't need to be.
It's fun. And like laundry, people are like, oh my God, laundry. You're making it hard. It's not hard.
But just like we needed Martha Stewart and Ina Garten to show us that it was fun, to show us that it was more than a chore.
Right.
And I think that's what you and you alone have been doing about laundry.
Well, I hope so. I hope that people, if you take anything away from this, I hope that you take away that I want you to have fun.
Yeah.
You know, and I want you to have fun with laundry. And I think that when you approach it, like, I'm going to have fun now.
Yeah.
You know, get a better light bulb for your laundry room. Like, if your laundry room is in the basement and it's dark and there's that one bulb and it's left over from, you know, something from 2 years ago.
Right.
Go to the hardware store and get yourself some LED.
Yes.
Like, get some light and
Brighten it up.
Yeah, have some fun.
Put a cute little rug in front of it,
Right.
maybe.
You know, I mean, put a bar down there.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean, you know, whatever it takes, but have fun.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's a great
yeah.
idea. So we will, at the end of the episode, show you how to get the books as well. I had an opportunity to peruse Laundry Love and Home Love. They're amazing. So we'll remind you how to do that. But now, here's the deal. You took your passion, you made it a business.
Yep.
And now, and I know you're going to say, no, I'm not.
Yes, he is.
You're famous. You
big time.
became
You big time.
famous. I mean, Kelly Ripa might leave Mark Consuelos for you.
Okay.
Tell that story.
Okay, that's hysterical.
Story.
So the second time I was ever on Kelly, it was still Kelly and Ryan then, but Mark was co-hosting. And I walk out and Kelly's like, "This is my next husband." And without missing a beat, because I wasn't thinking, I kind of speak without thinking. You may find that out today.
We like that most about you.
We can bleep
We
out,
can
right?
edit
Okay, good. There we go. So she's like, "This is my next husband." And I said, "I'm looking at your first one and this is a mistake." But you know, I'm famous-ish. I'm probably not as famous as you all.
If you don't want to use the word famous, you are incredibly well known.
I'm well known.
You are
I'm
well known. I mean, my husband, who is not domestic, who is not on social media, which I like a lot about him. When I said, we have Patric, and I had to say Patrick the laundry guy. I'm sorry, I couldn't say
Yeah, fair
Patric
enough.
Richardson.
Do you want to be the laundry guy or the laundry evangelist?
I take both.
Okay.
Okay.
My husband knew. Oh my gosh, no way. Patrick's
Yeah.
coming down. So, I mean, whether you want to call it famous or well known, I mean, how do you handle that?
I think it's fun.
Okay.
I think it's so fun. I think it's hysterical. Like, I had to buy a new car last week. Long story. I had to buy a new car. And when I was in the dealership, we were talking to the salesperson and we'd actually already picked it out. We were like, signing the deal. And this one's like, "Excuse me, are you the laundry guy?" And I was like, "Yes." And she was like, "Can I get a photo?"
Yes.
And I was like, "Of course you can."
That is so cute.
And like how I think that's fun. And people are like, "Oh, I don't want to interrupt you eating," or always interrupt me. Don't be stupid.
Okay, good.
The reality is this. The reason I've been able to make my living doing laundry is because people buy the stuff I'm selling.
Yeah.
So the thing is, those people are the reason that I get to have my green washer and dryer. So I am never, ever going to forget who brought me to the party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you need to know we've got a big, amazing community of women who have built our Saturday morning show together. And so
Yeah.
if they
Exactly
haven't
the
met
same
you
way.
before, girls, when you see Patrick, you go say hi.
Yeah, and tell me where you met me.
Yes.
I
Yes.
think that's great. And I think I've been lucky enough to know a number of celebrities.
A lot.
A few. Some good ones, but Anyway, true celebrities don't mind when you speak to them because they realize who they are and why they are who they are.
That's right.
It's wannabes that have the attitude. I also find that's true with money.
Yeah.
I think that people who have a little bit of money have a lot of attitude. People who have a lot of money have no attitude. You know why they don't have any attitude? Because they know they have a lot of money and they don't need to impress you.
Right.
No, I mean,
So
when I used to sell designer clothes, it would always be that person who was like, wanted to pretend who they were.
Mm-hmm.
The people who don't, who their net worth doesn't end in M and ends in B.
Yeah.
They have no attitude.
Yeah.
Because they don't need to. They don't need to impress you.
Right.
But I find that true celebrities know who brought them.
Yeah.
I'm not a true celebrity, but thank you. But I know who allows me to get to do what I love to do.
So great.
But something Becky and I have seen over the past decade working in home shopping is what translates though, and why I think people want to buy from you is that authenticity.
Absolutely.
And we talk about that a lot. And we have seen fabulous brands, products come and
Yeah.
go. But if there's not an authentic intention behind it, it doesn't stick around.
Well, I think the girls have a strong BS meter.
Oh yeah. You need to know this. I forgot to tell you ahead of time. These girls can read anybody. So there you go.
I love all of you.
Exactly.
All of you. I'm looking at both cameras here. All of you.
And you and
I love you. It's like romper room, But
And I see Susan.
Yeah. But I love that because the thing is, you can say whatever you want, but I will say I'm authentic.
Yeah.
I don't have time. Quite frankly, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to try to be fake. You know what I mean? And I don't know that I'm smart enough to be fake.
We can't muster the strength.
No, it's hysterical. I've had just that phony, I don't have time.
Right.
And the thing is, I love what I do and I don't like what I don't like, so.
Wait, what part don't you like? Do you like being on the road? Do you like
I love it.
Yeah?
There's nothing about my job I don't like.
Good.
Well, that's not true. I don't like the books. If anybody's a bookkeeper,
Hey. He's fun. And you live by us.
And I'm generous.
Yes.
Anyway, more than happy to write that check if you'll just take that part of my life
And
away.
neither one of us fit the bill.
Yeah.
So we're not going to be doing it.
Right?
I love everything about my work. But, I mean, it's funny. I even like staying in hotels. I don't, I have no issue about, hotels. I think that's fun.
You don't need a beta blocker to go on air?
No. And I don't need, what's really funny? I'll tell you what I really don't need is a lot of pretense. I am just as happy, and this will prove that I'm not really a celebrity. I'm just as happy at Home 2 Suites as I am at the Ritz-Carlton.
Sure.
Because
liar.
It's totally true. Truth be told, Home 2 Suites is probably my favorite hotel chain going.
Is that what you choose?
If I can choose, I always choose it because they have a dishwasher, and I'm a germaphobe.
Yeah.
And so I won't use, if at the Ritz-Carlton, they have real glasses. I'm like, could you send me up some disposable cups and make sure they're still wrapped?
Yeah.
Because I want to know that they're clean.
Yeah.
So I love Home 2 Suites because they have a dishwasher. Because if I go in one, the very first thing I do is I take everything I can find, every dish, every plate, every knife, every fork, everything, and run it through the dishwasher.
Do you remember when Lisa Rinna did that? When they showed that on Housewives?
No.
That was the first thing she did. She took her wipes, her little disinfecting wipes, did the phone, did the clicker.
I have a story about her off camera. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
it's hysterical. Anyway, it's not actually, it's I'm telling it through somebody else. So that's why I'm not going to.
That's fine.
But anyway.
We're still all yours.
Yeah. But anyway, I feel her.
Yeah.
Because I like to DoorDash and I want to use a real plate and a real knife.
Right.
But I want to know that it's clean. So the thing is, you assume it's clean at Ritz-Carlton, but you don't know.
No.
And to be completely honest with you, I think it's weird that the more expensive the hotel, the less amenities you get. You have to pay for Wi-Fi and they don't have free breakfast.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's true. So I, and I just like it. I just like sitting in the lobby and chatting. There's a story in the second book. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you who this is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who this is. I've never told it before.
Oh,
you're getting some
Breaking
dish.
news.
Yeah. In the foyer, I was actually at the Essex House in New York, which I was on somebody else's dime. Let me be very clear. I won't spend that money myself. I was on somebody else's dime. And I hear, as I'm getting closer to the door, they have a doorman. And I hear somebody saying, "I love you." And I'm walking up to the door and I walk in and there's a woman standing there and she's blowing air kisses.
She loves you?
To this other very tall woman in front of me who's got her back to me. And I, because as I told you, I don't have a filter, say, that's how I expect to be greeted when I walk into the hotel. And the woman over here laughs and blows me air kisses and the other woman turns around and it was Caitlyn Jenner. And I've never told the story.
Serious.
And so she said, "Oh, is that?" And I was like, "That's how I expect to be greeted when I walk into a hotel."
I'm waiting.
So she did it. So she did it. Yeah, so it was really funny.
Oh my God.
But yeah, but you don't get to sit in the lobby. You don't get to interact. I mean, that was just a unique interaction at that hotel.
And what a great New York moment.
Yeah, but you don't normally get to.
Right. When you're staying at some of the more,
Yeah.
And it's not happening at the Home 2 Suites.
No, in the Home 2 Suites, you sit in the lobby and you chat.
You might get a traveling basketball team coming through.
Hockey moms.
Yeah.
And I love that.
I'll see you there.
I think that's so fun.
Yes.
I
love to visit.
I love to chat.
Yes.
We're chatty. We are chatty people.
We are a chatty.
Listen, we've never had a microphone we don't like.
Right.
That's for sure.
And I don't need a microphone to talk like I will pontificate anywhere.
So girls, you've got another friend built in. Just like I always warn the girls I'm a hugger and I'm like, if you see me, plan for a rib to be broken. I am going to try to pick you up off the ground.
I'm there.
Yes, right? And if you see Patrick...
Don't try to pick me up off the ground. Because, unless your husband's a chiropractor, it's not going to work that well.
He's not, but he is impressed that I'm interviewing you today.
I love he was dazzled.
Yeah, it takes a lot to razzle dazzle that guy. He was pretty excited. You guys, don't forget, Isomers is now partnering with So Happy You're Here podcast to give you an exclusive 20% off your order. You go to Isomers isomers.ca. You'll get 20% off your order. If you're at $100 or more, they'll ship it to you for free directly to your house. It's an exclusive savings just for all of you listening. If you haven't been introduced to Isomers before, they are the best cosmetic chemists in the world. Scientifically proven results for over 30 years. If you don't know where to start, there's an easy quiz to take at isomers.ca. Or if you just want to go for their icons, their hyaluronic acid, their fast lift eye serum, their copper P, it's all available and it's exclusively for you with Happy20 to get that 20% off your order. So I know, and you can tell us if this gets annoying.
Yeah, no.
But even my husband was like, okay, ask him about grass stains.
Yeah.
Like everybody wants to know. And you can read more about it in the book, Laundry Love for sure.
And you know what? Really, the website is super chock full. Your YouTube is chock full.
Yeah, and, shameless plug, because every Thursday at 1:30 Central on YouTube, I do a live.
Oh, you did not?
Every Thursday.
Can we promote that for you on Thursdays?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So every Thursday I do it. So you can log in and just ask your question and I just answer it right there.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
And I answer them in the moment.
What do the girls ask? What's the most asked question?
The most asked question is pit stains.
All right.
50% of the questions I get is pit stains.
Wait, so here's the deal. So we shop in fashion, and I told you this. We've always told everybody every quarter, every season, you got to check your pits and get rid of your whites. Can you get pit stains out?
Oh, yeah. You take oily soap. So oily soap is going to be a laundry product. It's going to be thick. It's going to have the texture of dish soap. Don't use dish soap on your clothes.
Okay.
There's too much technology in it. In the 70s, you could use dish soap on your clothes. Dish soap, there's more technology in your dish soap than there is in the iPhone that we're filming this with.
Are you serious?
And it's gotten so alkaline that it will ruin fabric.
Okay.
But you want that texture. But you can buy laundry products that do that. You put it on, then you sprinkle oxygen bleach on it, which is a powder. So you're going to sprinkle oxygen bleach on it. You're going to rub it in. You're going to let it sit an hour, 2 hours, overnight, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then you're going to turn the tap all the way to hot. Okay. And you're going to run the hot tap water straight through it. The combination of the oxygen bleach with the hot water will take it out. But you want to know a better trick?
Yes.
Once you get the pit stain out, or when you buy new clothes, because you're going to buy new things from you.
Of course.
When you do that, if every single time, immediately before you put it in the washing machine, you spray it with vinegar and water, like the pits or the collar or the cuffs, wherever you get it, you'll never have the stain again.
Just pre-treat before you pop it in.
But the vinegar has to be wet when the washer starts.
Wait, I'm blown away by this.
This is so good.
I mean, that's incredible. Can you do that on any dingy white, or is that only for your pits?
Dingy white, honestly, is usually using too much detergent.
You know that feeling, you guys, too, when you can feel a fabric that's been washed in too much soap.
Yeah.
It loses its
sticky.
body. Yeah.
I hope we can still be friends. I think I use too much soap.
Okay.
I feel that
so
puppy to the
if you're going to use,
I've got teenagers. I don't know.
If you're going to use commercial detergent, which I don't, but if you're going to, you know how they say this much for a full load and this much for a small load?
Yeah.
We're going to go to 2 tablespoons for a full load of laundry. 2 tablespoons for a full load of laundry.
But what if I'm using your flakes,
then
laundry
you're going to go to
flakes?
1 tablespoon.
That's going to last forever.
What about the
you
might
might want to work on that business model, mister.
Yeah,
no. It's funny. People have said that to me. They're like, why do companies say to use more? I'm like, look, if I could figure out how to convince you to use an entire pound of soap at $26 a pound for every load, I'd be rich.
Yeah.
Your clothes would be awful, but I would be rich. I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I do care. So I tell you the truth.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
But the laundry cycle, always the express cycle. You don't ever need anything else.
Wow.
Do you know how long my heavy cycle is?
Probably 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you can go to 30 minutes.
That's crazy.
And if you get a sexy Alpine green machine, it goes to 15
on the
minutes.
wish list. Wait, are you serious?
Yeah,
Your load of laundry goes through in 15 minutes?
Uh-huh.
Even Becky we're moms of boys.
Yeah.
Okay. And I have just classic teenage athletic boys.
Yeah.
So I'm always putting extra soap in, washing them on the heavy because I'm thinking.
No.
But they still stink.
Okay,
so
they still
this
stink.
is my fault.
2 things I want to say about this.
Okay, please.
One thing, first of all, you both have boys, so it doesn't matter. It really ticks me off when people say, oh, but teenage boys stink. No, teenagers stink. The second that we got girls, like Title IX, the second we got girls playing hockey and they started playing basketball, they stink just as much.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have to take care of that, first of all, because the reason they stink is actually because they're healthier. As we get older, our body doesn't process as much in sweat. So we're like at our peak when we're teenagers. And so the reason that we stink more then is because they're like their body is purging all the gunk.
Really?
Yeah. So it really changes my attitude on that, because I'm like, you kind of want to, like at my age, I mean, there's really nothing left. It's just all downhill from here. But I mean, I could just wear nothing and you'd never know. But it's true. But what you need to do is, it's actually the oil from their skin is holding the sweat. And teenagers love like athletic wear, and it's always polyester.
Right.
Polyester is hydrophobic and oleophilic. It hates water. It loves oil. So it's grabbing all that oil and all the sweat. All you have to do is throw some oxygen bleach in. Oxygen bleach is completely color safe.
It is?
So a load of black Lulu pants, let's say.
Black Lulu pants. Throw it in, add a tablespoon of oxygen bleach, and they will not smell.
Do we get that from you too? Oxygen bleach?
Yep, it's on our website.
Do you like well, I shouldn't say it.
No.
The branded name of that?
It's okay. It's only 20% of the active ingredient. Back when it launched, it's funny, you guys will know this because this will live in the Shop HQ world. You remember when it launched?
Billy Mays.
It was 100%. It was 100%.
Anthony Sullivan.
That's right.
It was 100%. And they had to reformulate it because once they wanted to start selling to like the big stores,
the home shopping channels. Mm-hmm.
The home shopping channels sold it pure.
Oh, they did. Okay.
But once they wanted to start putting it in stores, because it had to do with the distribution of it, they were starting to store it in such quantities. Like there's hazmat levels to it. And there becomes quantities like if you had
because it's got that bleach property.
Yeah. No, it's not that. It's an oxidizer.
Okay.
If it gets wet, it off-gases pure oxygen. So when you put like 25 tons in the East Coast distribution center, if the sprinklers were to go off, you're basically making a building full of oxygen. Pure oxygen.
Yeah. Wow.
So they had to reformulate it. So I don't mind the original brand. You just have to know you have to use more.
Okay.
No,
but it has fillers in it. It's truthfully the 100% is better, but
we'll just get it right off your website.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, so since most of the ladies who know us through fashion, what about, can you get a shrinking sweater back to life?
You can. So here's what you do. You throw it, not to name drop, but Kelly Ripa did this.
Hey, Kelly. Because this will also save marriages.
Yeah.
Because how many sweaters has he shrunk of mine where I'm like, you're out next time. You're gone.
So you throw it in the sink with the hottest water possible.
Your sweater?
Yeah.
Okay.
About 2 tablespoons of conditioner.
Hair conditioner?
Yeah, like hair conditioner.
Okay.
Good hair conditioner.
Got it.
If you're buying your hair conditioner at Dollar Tree, time to try it out.
Don't do that.
Level up.
So let it sit overnight. Take it out, sopping wet, and massage it back into place. Do not let it drain. Like it needs to come out of the sink and go on the deck, and you massage it back into place.
Really?
And you're
and
not
it'll go right back. No, just
gently.
Just massage it.
Yeah, be gentle with your baby sweaters. And then what happens?
Then let it dry, and that's it.
What?
And then you just rinse it again to rinse the conditioner out, and you're good to go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's easy.
Oh my gosh. What about what about all the things? So I have a sweater. It's dry clean only, and I got makeup on it.
Dry clean only means dry clean never. Okay,
really?
Go ahead. Yeah.
No,
this is a hot take, though. This is controversial.
Yeah,
well, we used to work with Mark Bauer closely. The fashion designer Mark Bauer, and he was one of the original couture designers who said never dry clean.
Right.
He refused to say dry clean only, even if the manufacturer would say that should be dry clean, he would say no, I won't do it. Now he always came from an environmental standpoint. He didn't like what dry cleaning did to the environment,
which is also valid.
But why are you against dry cleaning?
Because you don't need it. I mean, back to our friends the Victorians.
Yeah,
they wore silk and cashmere and ermine and all these fibers. They didn't have dry cleaners.
Yeah,
and they still cared for all those clothes. I mean, Marie Antoinette did not send everything down to the dry cleaner when she took it off.
No way, really?
You know,
you gotta be kidding me.
With all that cake on it.
So how do you get like a stain out of a dry clean only sweater?
You just wash it because the dry clean only sweater. Let's say it's cashmere.
Sure.
Okay. Have you ever seen a cashmere goat? They live on the side of mountains. When it starts to rain, the farmer does not grab them and run them into the barn. They just stand out there. So why can that get wet? But then you can't wash it once it's made into a sweater. That's just stupid.
It's such a good point.
Right, it is. But I fully
what
bought
about
into
leather?
this.
Let's say leather.
So leather, the thing about leather is you really don't need to wash leather. That's not really a thing that you need to do. Mm-hmm. You take get a good leather conditioner, put it on, let it sit, and all the dirt and the gunk will come up into the conditioner, and then you just buff it away.
Yeah.
And when you do it, you condition the leather, but the gunk goes with it. I took ballpoint pen out of a white Chanel bag that way.
No, you did not.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, do you ever do custom cleanings for people?
No.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and nip that right. I'm gonna nip that right now. I knew exactly
You
where
can
I was.
talk to him at the home to suites, but you cannot send
Yeah,
him.
exactly. I will tell you how. You shoot me an Insta message and I will walk you through it. But no, it's funny. You talk about a business. If I would open a laundry, but I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to for two reasons. And this is the truth. I don't want to because I don't want to.
Yeah.
Because I like interacting with people, so I don't want to be behind the scenes. But I also don't want to because I don't want to promote the idea that you can't do it.
Yeah, that's smart.
Yeah.
I don't
good.
like the idea that, oh, honey, this is too hard for you. Let me do it.
Yeah.
Let mama fix it. No.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because
You're empowering people to do
yeah,
it.
because you can. I mean, on my show, you know, we had a jacket from the 1940s that was silk. And it was a boxer's jacket. And the one thing on my show, and I'm sad that it's not streaming right now. Oh my gosh, you know what? You should get your entire team. This is really mean of me. You should get your entire team to reach out to Discovery Plus and tell them you want it back. Anyway, there was
Guys,
a boxing
Laundry
jacket.
Guy, Discovery Plus.
Yeah.
We are very gentle, polite bullies.
All right, I'm down. I'm down.
Yeah,
so
we were
anyway,
polite. Yes, everybody.
So
let Discovery
But
Plus
I did
know.
this boxing jacket, and it was from the 40s. But the thing I always did is I always had the owner plunge it into water. I would never do it because I wanted them to know that they could.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because people were so afraid.
Well, we've just been told to be. We've been told you will ruin your closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And truly, I think one of the reasons Becky thinks I hoard clothes is because I have a really pretty white jacket or an old silk dress that I don't want to get rid of because I love, but it doesn't look as good as it once did because I'm petrified to care for it.
Yeah.
And so you hold on to these things you want to wear again or you think you'll wear again, but then the industry has taught me, well, I'm not allowed to take care of it.
And you have a pile of, yeah.
And even the
Dry
things I
clean
have,
only.
don't get mad. I won't go to the dry cleaner anymore. And I really I'm not a big dry clean person anyway. In the times I have brought things to dry cleaner, it doesn't come back clean.
Well, so
Maybe pressed.
So here's the
but not
thing,
clean?
and I'm not gonna bash dry cleaners
No.
because dry cleaning. If you are trained as a dry cleaner, you have a lot of technical knowledge.
Okay.
Okay.
The stain
But what
removal.
Yes, lots of things. I mean, you have a lot of knowledge. You know, dry cleaning school is a legitimate profession. What happens is I go to dry cleaning school. I learn about dry cleaning school. Then I open 60 dry cleaners. But there's only one of me who has the knowledge.
Sure.
So, everybody else is just trying to get along. It's just like if you go to a great restaurant, the chef has to keep an eye on what's going on or it falls apart.
Yeah. That's a good way to say it.
And so that's the thing. That's what's happened to the dry cleaning industry. Dry cleaners have a lot of knowledge. It's the fluff that occurs that takes the problem. So there's that. And then, so the things don't look as good, but they also don't look as good because nobody's going to take the care that you take.
Yeah.
When you bought that dress to wear to your 20th anniversary dinner, you bought it because you were like, yeah, this is it. This is the one. Like when you bought this raspberry Shangsom dress because you were going to meet with me today.
Yes.
And I'm just assuming that you were like, I have to get something new because Patric's coming.
Obviously.
So,
Obviously.
And now you will forever associate that with me. You should want to care for it, but nobody's going to care for it like you do.
Yeah.
Right.
The other part of that, though, is once you find out that you can care for anything, you become fearless.
Yeah.
At that point, your Oscar de la Renta ball gown is the perfect thing to wear to the grocery store because you don't have to worry about
How
it.
fun.
And that is a dream of mine.
Do you know what I mean? It's so fun.
Show up in the produce with Oscar on.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is it would make Aldi feel like Erewhon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you
It'd make that little league game I have to go to every weekend of the summer feel like the World
Major
Series.
League. That's
yeah, exactly. I mean, but I think it's fun and you should get to wear what you want. I mean, sometimes I throw my tuxedo jacket on with jeans and a concert t-shirt because I
Cute.
can.
Patric, Patric, how have we not talked about this before? This is incredible.
But you know, it's fun. I mean, then you get to have fun with your clothes.
Because we have a theory that we've shared with the girls along the way is wear the outfit, you are the occasion.
Yes.
But
You know, you are
for
the
sure.
occasion.
Yes.
But truly, and this is a conversation we've been having for a decade, sometimes we don't like to wear the outfit because the maintenance is so much that it's not as fun. And so you are really allowing us to have fun with our fashion.
Yeah, you should really get to have fun. Like, I mean, if you want to, you should get to wear whatever you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, like, if you wanted to wear that blouse that you save for, you know, whatever on a Thursday, you should put it on.
Yes.
Because you know, I told you I used to sell designer clothes, and it used to drive me crazy when somebody would buy a pair of Manolo Blahniks for a party. And not that I have any issue with Manolo Blahnik. I actually think they're beautiful shoes. But what would kill me is they're like, I would never spend this much for every day. And I would stop and say, okay, can we just stop for a second and discuss how stupid this is?
Yeah.
You're spending the most you've ever spent for one wear.
Right.
But for your everyday life, you're wearing something cheaper. That makes no sense to
Right.
me.
Right.
Price per wear.
Right. I mean, and you know, just like anything, like the good china or whatever.
Saving for good.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah. And I don't like that with clothes because, I mean, I have some things that I really, really cherish. Mm-hmm. And I cherish them because, you know, I look good in them, or I think I look good in them, or the experience of buying it was so magic, or whatever it happens to be. Yeah. But, you know, I like every time I put that on, that comes back.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so why would I not wear that?
Right. Right.
You know, I have it's a cardigan. It's a great cardigan, but I had this evening, it was January in New York, and like the snow was just barely starting. I mean, it was really like a movie moment.
Magical.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it was. It was about 6:00 in the evening. So, you know, it's starting to get dark because it's January, and there's like snowflakes, but it was about 40 degrees. So it was still warm enough to be out and about. And, you know, I'm tooling around New York, and I walked into a store, and there was a sweater that I had desperately wanted, and it had sold out everywhere. And I walk in a store and I see one. Not only do I see it, but it's my size.
Yes, come on.
And I'm like, oh,
Kismet.
yeah, I was meant to have that.
Yes, you were.
And he was like, oh, it's 40% off. And I was like,
now you're
fashion gods are
talking.
yeah, smiling on me, right?
Yes.
But you know, the thing is, every time I put it on, I go back to that. I go back to that evening and back to that memory. And, so why wouldn't I want to do that?
Absolutely.
Yes. Well, and now we've taken all the excuses out of doing that.
That's
You
right.
know, all the reasons we said I can't wear that because I don't want to go to the dry cleaner. It's going to be too fussy.
Saving it for good.
Where a lot of people are worried about the kids or grandkids being around with the hands. So now we took the excuses out of it. Now listen, we could talk all day, but we're always on a timeline. So I do want to mention too, it's not just laundry love. You moved into home love.
Yeah, house love happened. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that all happen?
So it was really funny. I asked you to build this kit in Laundry Love,
Yes.
you know, of a spray bottle of vinegar and water, a spray bottle of vodka, you know, a horsehair brush, some soap. And I realized that's what I was using to clean the rest of my house with.
Okay.
So House Love is very green. It's more green even than Laundry Love. The dish soap that I told you can't
Yes.
use on your clothes, greatest thing in the world to clean your bathroom.
Really?
For the exact same reason. The reason dish soap has gotten so good is because when you make like lasagna and that stuff is baked on the pan, you now put it in the sink, add a squirt, the stuff floats right off because
Right.
it's so alkaline.
Can I say the name?
Yeah, go ahead.
Dawn.
Yeah, Dawn.
Yeah.
The blue one.
Yeah.
So the thing is now, you know, it's meant to remove oil. That's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
Well, what's in our shampoo and our conditioner and our moisturizer and our lotion and our moisturizing soap? It's oil. So dish soap cuts oil.
So smart.
Wow.
So it's the easiest thing in the world.
So for the ring
Yes.
around the tub,
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, just you put a squirt in, get a scrubby brush, and go. The other great thing is it's food safe. Dish soap is food safe because, you know, it's meant for the dishes.
Right.
So you're not putting anything in the tub, in the shower, in the sink
Right.
that you don't want to touch.
Yeah.
And your soap flakes are food safe
Oh,
too.
but they're-
made of.
Yeah, they're actually food grade.
That is
Wow.
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
You know, so that's kind of how House Love came to
Yes.
be. And there were more stories to tell.
And you can see them in the book, but we talk a lot about how fashion, that's your armor for the day and that's your style, but your style goes right into your home. You know, there's scientific studies. What you look at in your home, what you feel in your home, what you smell in your home has like a true meaning to your memories, your brain, you know, your attitude, your personality. Do you have any quick advice in home? Like, let's say people are coming over in 15 minutes.
It's funny. The book, House Love, every chapter has a 10-minute clean.
No way!
Yeah, so at the end of every chapter, it's like if somebody's coming over and you only have 10 minutes to do your living room, do this. And it's real. The advice is real. So it's not, you know, light some candles, turn off the lights.
Tell them to close their eyes.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's funny, but there is a really funny tip in it, which I stole from Julia Child, and I made it work for House Love. It's only God sees under the sofa. So do what you have to do. But my real advice for your house is don't be a slave to it. If you will spend 10 minutes a day per room, or 10 minutes a week, per room, the first week you will not get it completely clean. I'm not going to pretend that you will. If you started at 0, you know, and it looks like Grey Gardens, it's not going to be clean the first week.
How did you know?
If every week you spend 10 minutes in the living room, you'll get there.
Yeah.
And it's not, and there again, turn on the music, you know, buy yourself some Reese's eggs, make it fun.
Candy helps.
Candy helps so many things.
It really does.
Candy is always on my cleaning list.
Yes.
Because it's fun but just make it fun. And, you know, with laundry or with home, the other example that I like to use is it's like the Christmas tree. You know, we have this romantic notion. If you put up a Christmas tree, we have this romantic notion. When you get out the Christmas ornaments, you're like, oh, this is what we bought when we went to Sag Harbor. And, oh, this is what we bought when we went to New York. And we bought this in Palm Springs. And we bought this when we took the kids to Disneyland.
Yeah.
Whatever. And you bring all those memories come back. That can happen with everything in your house.
Right.
Because, you know, you can remember, I looked for these glasses for 6 months. And one day, and it doesn't have to be like some romantic notion that you found them in a little tiny shop in, you know, East London. It could be like, I looked for glasses forever. And one day I went into Crate and Barrel and there they were.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's still fun because it's still a win and we still got that dopamine high. So you can still have that all the time if you just start appreciating your things. You know, and you just kind of enjoy them. And quite frankly,
for them.
Yeah, and caring for them. And, you know, I'm not a Marie Kondo person, I'll admit it. But, you know, I get if it doesn't spark joy, throw it away.
You know what I do the other way?
What?
If it pisses me off.
Yeah.
You're
You know
making me
what?
mad. You're getting in my way.
Okay.
She does it with humans
Get out
too.
of
So
here.
watch
You know
out.
what? Mind your P's and Q's. If you all are watching and you run into Becky, we're like, oh yeah, run up to anybody. But
No, Aaron and I sing move, get out the way. I mean, no.
Yeah.
That's how we run it. That's how we run it.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Same with your stuff though.
Yeah, but you know, but the thing is, like, I just decided to get rid of a couple of chairs because I was like, you know what, I really don't like those. And then Ross probably won't watch this, edit this out. They were very expensive.
Did he love them?
No. He doesn't really care. I just, you know, but I bought them and they were really expensive. And I thought, you know, I don't really like these. And so those had to go on Facebook Marketplace, you know, so somebody who did love them.
Look at you just blessing people left and right.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. Like I enjoy touching my things.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that comes from being grateful for your things.
Right.
You know?
Ooh, that's a good one.
But it's true though,
Yes.
right? I mean, you have this beautiful house and you have to be grateful that you have this beautiful house.
Absolutely.
And you have to be grateful that you were able to acquire that thing, whatever it happens to be.
Do you ever just go visit your clothes? Just go spend some time with
Do you know
them?
what's hysterical? When the laundry is done and it's all hanging up, sometimes I do like to sit on the edge of the bed and just look at it. Just because, you know, there's still a retailer in me, so it's still by color.
Is it? How do you have it merchandised?
I do shirts, then jackets, then pants, then coats.
By color? Do you
yeah.
Roy G. Biv it?
No. I don't Roy G. Biv. I do it like they do in the store. So it's white, beige, yellow, pink, orange, red, burgundy, purple, green, blue, black.
Oh, so it's like hue.
No way.
Or maybe it's
I
like
didn't know that
value.
that's how they did it in the stores.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's zoned.
Yeah. So that's how I do it. And, you know, and so I just really, but yeah, I like looking at my closet.
Well, I mean, shirts, clothes, dresses, they all mark moments in time.
Totally.
You know, I truly will remember sitting down with you because I am in this.
I love that you said that too, because now I remember.
Yeah, I totally will.
And I wore this because of you.
Yeah, because
This is Patric meets Ina.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
I'm all in.
I walked in and I said, Becky, you dressed for Patrick
Yeah, I
today.
mean,
She said, she sure did.
We'll walk a banker's stripe any day of the week.
You can never go wrong.
But never go wrong with a banker's stripe.
I do feel like we're at this moment in society right now where we're looking for the nostalgia. Even some rom-coms are coming back to Netflix that have more of a nostalgic approach, you know, and even trends on social media back to the trad wife, which, listen, I'm not fully subscribed to, but people are looking for ways to making things more meaningful. I think we got too fast, too quick for quite some time.
Especially in fashion.
Well, I mean, if you look at like the rise of the Hallmark Channel.
Yes.
I mean, they're now showing Christmas movies every Friday night all year.
Amen.
And I'm with you. You know, that is.
Let's watch that in our clean sheets with our new pajamas and a Fountain Diet Coke.
Already. Friday night, tell your husbands. I'm getting in bed with a man.
I'll be in bed with Patrick.
Yeah, it's fine. It's totally safe.
And Becky.
Anyway, right.
Weird.
No, there's nothing weird about this. Anyway, nothing.
No.
This would happen in a Hallmark movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think that we have just lost connection, you know? I think that, I mean, I love social media. I said that earlier.
I do too.
But I think that something that happened is, you know, we've gotten so good at Zoom, we don't just sit down and visit.
Yes.
And so I think that we're looking for connection, but it's just going to be in a new way. You know what I mean? And I think that the kids that are becoming adults now, I mean, I shouldn't call them kids, but they are less than half my age, and they're buying houses and having children. You know, the thing is, they were really never taught any domesticity. They grew up like in the era of Friends, right? And I love Friends. I mean, I love the show. I watch it all the time still. But, you know, they were infants. Like their parents were, you know, they're the twins that Monica and Chandler had.
Yes.
You know, they're the adults now.
Yeah.
And so they didn't grow up having any sort of understanding of how to cook, how to clean, so they're discovering it all. It's all new for them. And I think that's fun. And I think for us, we just got away from, I want to enjoy my stuff. You know, we all probably love shopping because, you know, we all love clothes and we love things. But, you know, you go to the store and I'm only willing to buy something if it's better than something I have.
Ooh, that's a good measure.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not willing to buy another banker stripe shirt unless it's better than my banker stripe shirt.
Yeah.
And, you know, right now, I mean, I hate to say it, sometimes I find it, sometimes I don't.
They're not trying to impress you.
So I want to take care of mine because I may not find a better one.
That's good.
It's a really good way of looking at it.
And it's true.
You know, because I think there's always things, you're always going to buy a blue Oxford cloth shirt because you're going to wear it out.
Right.
You know, and I will always have a pink Oxford, because why wouldn't you have a pink Oxford cloth shirt? I mean, how do you live?
Duh.
Without a pink, you know, I mean, really?
Told you.
Pink Oxford, I mean, it's just a necessity. And a black cashmere cardigan, you're always going to have one.
Yes.
But, you know, other things, I mean, I love to buy things. I mean, I love to buy things. I mean, love to buy things, you know, call Amex, ask them. But, you know, I want to buy, it's got to be better. So until I can find one better, I want to take care of mine.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people now, that's where they are. You know, we went through fast fashion where you bought something once and then it literally fell apart while you were wearing it. And I think we kind of are like, yeah, we're done with that.
Yeah.
You know, now we want to buy nice things and have nice things. And so we want to care for them. So I think that has kind of worked for me, you know?
Well, and it adds price per wear. It adds longevity. And we have always encouraged everybody to stretch their fashion dollar.
Yeah.
And oftentimes have said, buy the higher quality, but take good care of it.
Absolutely.
Because you will actually have a better price per wear than that cheaper, less affordable, faster fashion. Right. But really, I mean, truly, Patrick, there are some pieces where I've tried to care for them and I didn't know better until meeting you and reading your book that I actually had the ability to care better for them. So, I mean, it really does add value back into your pocket when you can better care for your pieces.
Yeah. One of the pitches, this is insidery, I guess. When we were trying to sell Laundry Love, I said, okay, so 5 pieces at the dry. We're going to talk about 5 dry cleaning pieces. So we're going to assume that to dry clean 5 pieces is about $65.
Yeah.
Because I called around. That was about right at the time. So it's $65. You have to drive to the dry cleaner, drop the stuff off, go back to the dry cleaner, pick it up, bring it home. My book takes 2 hours to read, and hardcover's $28.
Yeah.
The very first time you read my book and you wash those dry clean only pieces, you saved $30.
Now you're talking.
Friends.
And then
It's called Laundry Love.
so, but you know what I mean? But I think there's something to that.
Yeah.
There's value there.
And
yeah.
there's value to your time.
Well, and I just love the challenge of it too, because I mean,
yeah.
like Kelly Ripa is in love with laundry. So many of us, like I'll go to Opitz. You know, I'm a value girl, and I want the most for the least because there'll be something with a little stain on it, and I know I'm getting 80% off of retail of a high end designer, and I already have the in my holster.
Right.
I pull out my vinegar, pull out my oxygen.
She's also a competitive queen. She wants to know she's the one who got the savings and the cleaning.
Hey, I'm with you. I mean, go with me to a vintage store. I will make your day.
Can we just talk for 2 seconds about Mona Williams and talk about the name of the store, the evolution?
Mona was the first American woman to be named Best Dressed Woman in the World in 1933. And she was from Kentucky. And so she left her wardrobe to the University of Kentucky. So my first exposure to truly high fashion when I was in college was her wardrobe. And it was said in 1933 that she wouldn't had to have spent $100,000 a year on clothes to be named Best Dressed Woman in the World, implying that in 1933 she was indeed spending $100,000 a year.
And that's in $33.
Yes, correct.
Wow.
Yeah, so her style was something. All her jewelry's at the Smithsonian.
Oh my god.
And if you go and you see the Hope Diamond, next to the Hope Diamond, there's a room that's Jewels of the World, and one of the pieces is the Bismarck Sapphire.
So she was Mona
hers.
von Bismarck.
She died Mona Bismarck.
Okay.
So she technically was Mona Slater, and then she became Mona Schlesinger, then Mona Bismarck, then Mona Bismarck, or I'm sorry, then Mona Williams, then Mona DeMartini, then Mona Bismarck.
How many
Taylor.
Five.
So here's what's funny. So Harrison Williams was the great love of her life. She married Mr. Schlesinger too young. You know, he seems like a good guy, just too young. And he died. And so then the Count DeMartini and Mr. Bismarck both sort of wooed her for her wealth. They were kind of gold diggers. And really funny. So her 4th husband was the Count DeMartini. And so she's Kentucky's countess because she was a count. Sorry, that was her 4th husband, but he died in a car wreck. And her friends all hated him because he used to use her for her money. So they all said he was Martini on the rocks.
Oh, no.
And those are good girlfriends. We stand on the backs of
Yeah,
good
exactly.
girlfriends.
They were.
Yes.
She was Truman Capote wrote about her.
Was she a swan?
Kind of. The Swans were jealous of her.
Oh.
Because she was so rich.
Really?
I mean, she was rich. Well, there was a quote. Well, I mean, Harrison was the richest man in the world. There was a quote once that you can't say the Harrison Williamses live like princes and princesses because princes and princesses can't afford to live like the Harrison Williams.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
She,
okay.
But she was also very kind. She was a very nice woman, I've been told. I didn't ever get to meet her. But I've met people who knew her. I worked with her clothes.
Wow.
And now that's what the store is named after.
Yeah, so it opened as Designer Vintage. So if you're going to open it as Designer Vintage, you might as well name it after the best dressed woman in the world.
So good.
And so then it's just sort of stayed. And yeah, I love her. She was the muse of Balenciaga.
Didn't she go into mourning? What was that story?
So when Diana Vreeland was at her house in Italy when Balenciaga died, and the story is she shoved her out and slammed the door shut, and she wouldn't come out because she said she'd never be beautiful again
because he passed.
because he died, and he made all of her clothes. And then she ended up going to Hubert de Givenchy, and he made her clothes until she died. She was quite a woman.
Yeah,
she was kind of a remarkable. And I, have this love of women. I've sold women's clothes and I write about women in my books. And so if I was going to name my store after somebody, it might as well be a woman who I admired very, very much.
Because it can't be Granny Dude.
No.
You know what's funny? Granny Dude was very well dressed. I considered naming the store after her, and I'll be very honest. I'll tell you why I didn't. I was going to name it Elizabeth Fraley because that was actually her name. Her name was Irene Elizabeth Fraley, but I don't like the name Irene. Neither did she. So I was going to name it Elizabeth Fraley, but I thought, I would never sell it. Like I would never be willing to sell the name.
Right.
So I couldn't.
Right.
It was just too close.
It's
really
too
And
tender.
Mona was I loved her very much. And even though I didn't meet her, but I just feel like I know her.
Yeah.
I love hearing this story because we consider, I speak on behalf of Becky all the time. Let me know when I'm wrong. But a lot of people underestimate the power of fashion.
Yeah.
They underestimate it. They think we have to get dressed, and we do because we don't want to be arrested out on the streets. We need
You just move.
Yes.
You live in Portland.
You have to be dressed. And so people think it's an obligation, but we think it's one of the most personal forms of art. I mean, truly, even simple, it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be the level of Mona Williams, but it is your personality of the day. It's your armor of the day, and it's art. Do you believe that?
100%. I mean, look at teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenagers wear all the wacky stuff because they're trying to express themselves.
Yeah.
So, everybody just wants to express themselves, even when people dress like, oh, I don't care, I just put on anything. What you're saying is, I don't care.
You're
I'll put on
messaging.
anything.
Yeah.
Right.
It's still a message, but I think that we want to we either express who we are or who we want to be.
You're right.
Through our clothes.
Yeah.
And I think both of those things are good. I probably dress for who I am often, but I like to dress for who I want to be.
Yeah.
I like, it's kind of why you like to buy new clothes for vacation. You're living a fantasy life.
Yes.
I mean, it's your White Lotus moment,
Yes.
right?
Are you watching, by the way?
Haven't started yet. Haven't started season 3. Loved 1 and 2. Haven't started season 3 yet.
Okay.
We're going to have to schedule a second
let
episode
us
so we can
know.
I will.
debrief.
I'm very excited because I love Parker Posey. So
Yes, you'll love it.
You'll have to tell me what you think of her accent.
okay, fair enough.
If she's nailed
Oh yeah,
it.
because you have a Southern accent.
yeah,
Not
so-
South Carolina, but yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'll, but I'm,
But you said to us today, you have fun shirts. Like this is one of your fun
Yeah.
shirts.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, he wants to have fun with us, because that's the
honestly-
first thing that happens when you walk in.
What did you guys just say? We're talking about making laundry fun. If people have lost how much fun fashion can be, how much fun getting dressed up can
well,
be.
and I think, but maybe that's because they lost laundry. I mean,
Yes.
you said I don't want to wear it because I don't want to take care of it. That is not the attitude to have.
That's what I've always
No,
thought.
because,
Yes.
but
I didn't know any better.
the thing is, just do your thing. Like, let your freak flag fly. Like if you are an all black girl, be an all black girl.
Yeah.
If you are, I want to wear riotous color, wear riotous color.
Yeah.
And if you want to go back and forth, go back and forth because you can care for all of those things.
Yeah.
And it used to make me so happy when I was selling clothes and somebody would come in and you'd push them a little, you give them a little nudge.
Yeah.
You give them a little nudge and they're like, oh. And I'm like, there it is. And I'm like, tell your husband to send me a thank you note.
But it's true.
And it is true because, everybody wants to feel good.
Yes.
And fashion does that for you. And the thing is, then when you add the laundry, and the laundry allows you to care for the things that make you feel good, then,
you're unstoppable.
Right, kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to conquer the world, you got to start with some great clothes, right?
Ooh, that's right. So here's the deal. We are way over time, as we should be, because
Yes.
we like to visit.
It's a very special episode.
When Becky and I were prepping for today's show, after about an hour of her telling me what she wanted to talk with you about, I said, girl, you're going to have to cut this down. Is there anything we've missed? Because I know you had a long list that you wanted to get to.
No,
We
captured-
can always have another session too.
we'll
down
have
the
to
road.
book you.
Fair
Yes.
enough. I'm down for round 2. This was
Would
fun.
you? Well, maybe we
So
can set the studio up with clean sheets and pajamas.
We'll do it from the bed.
Oh, already done. Already
Yep.
done.
We're done. That's it. That's it. What do you have coming up? What do you have going on that the girls should know about?
One thing is every Thursday, I think I mentioned this.
Yep, tell me
every
again.
Thursday I do live at 1:30 Central. Go to YouTube. It's Laundry Evangelist. And you can ask questions live. I'll answer any of your laundry questions in the moment.
Amazing.
If you go, speaking of which, YouTube, I have like 100 videos.
Perfect.
And if there's something you really want to know, if you send me a message, that's where I get the ideas to make videos.
Good.
You know, is what people want to know. Because if nobody wants to know, I'm not going to show it.
You have a great YouTube channel.
Oh,
We'll
thanks.
put
It's
this
really
in,
robust.
and by we, I mean Becky and our editor. We'll put this into our show notes, so you don't have to memorize it. We'll also promote it on our social media channels. What's your preferred social media channel for people?
I am an Instagram guy, and I'm Laundry Patric, but it's
Okay.
Patrick with no K.
Yeah, Patrick
It's
with a
Laundry
C.
Patrick, and really, but the thing I really want everybody to take away is that you get to do laundry. You don't have to do laundry.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the real message. I mean, there's lots of places in the world where they would love to push the button and walk away and come back 30 minutes later and fold the clothes. And, you know, I mean, I just think if you kind of take the attitude that you like doing your laundry,
Yeah.
it gets easier, right?
Yeah. I'm literally going to shift my perspective.
you inspired
on it.
now?
I am so inspired.
And this is going to be an hour-ish.
Yeah.
You could get at least 2 hours of laundry done just while you're listening to this.
You totally could. Where can everyone buy your books?
You can buy them. You can buy them anywhere. If you
Okay.
want to buy them anywhere, like you can buy them from Amazon. You can buy them at Barnes and Noble. They're at every. You know, they should be at every bookstore or available at every bookstore. But if you want a signed one, and you go to laundryevangelist.com, you can get them signed.
You have a, this is to Becky's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Jackie.
Yeah, Miss Jackie, who is fabulous.
Well, you know she loves you.
Well, I love her.
Miss Jackie is a national treasure, and then she gave birth to a national treasure.
100%. Who, speaking of which, can we just take a second to discuss Becky's hair and how we're all jealous
I was
of
just
it?
going to say the best heads of hair in the business.
You
No, I
guys.
mean,
Beyonce made a song about it. Becky with the good hair.
it's true. I
You
mean,
know what I'm saying?
Well,
And
you
you good head of hair right there
You
too.
go in and out of short and long.
it's funny. Truthfully, I think it looks better short.
Okay.
But I like it with a little length.
I love it
It's
right
such
now.
pretty hair.
Thanks.
From a stick straight hair type of girl, I mean, this is what we've all dreamt
No, it's
of
luscious.
our whole lives. If people are in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area and come to the Mall of America, are you often there?
Oh, I'm
Would
there
they
all the
see
time.
you? Okay.
Unless I'm like hanging with you all, which it sounds like we're going to hang more often and watch.
Watch out.
You know, so Friday nights I'm busy because we're watching Hallmark movies. But no, normally I'm in the store and you can just, you know, meander in and we will chat up a storm.
And remember, guys, no sales tax in
Right on
Minnesota on
clothes.
fashion.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
Can they
So
order from you online though?
Oh yeah, laundryevangelist.com. Everything is there.
Okay.
You know, and plus just like you sign up for the email. I travel the country all the time speaking. So wherever you are, you know, Evansville, Indiana, Charlotte, North Carolina.
You do like home
Nashville.
shows.
I love home shows.
Yeah.
Like I love it when I get asked to do home shows. But I do other speaking gigs. I'm doing a fashion week in 2026. I just booked yesterday. Yeah, it'll be fun. And you know, I love those kinds of things. So I'm into all of them, but it's just yeah, so you know, if you're on my email,
Amazing.
you'll find out where I'm at.
And Becky and I have it on our vision board. We like to say our goals out loud. One day, we want to go on tour. And so will you stop by a few of the locations?
Oh my God.
To say hi? Okay, thank you.
When are you going to go on
Hitting the
tour?
road.
We don't know quite yet, but at our old job at a network, we would have live studio audiences or we would go on remote location.
Yeah.
And so we just have that in our vision of once we're up and
So
running.
we'll come to you.
We will start going out to meet the ladies.
Yeah.
You should totally do that. That would be so
Right?
fun.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be fun?
Yes, it would be
And then
so
would
much
you meet
fun.
us for a few or just come
Yeah,
on with all
for
of them
sure.
or
Well,
whatever you
I may just tag
It would
along.
just be an open book for you.
Well, I mean, so here's how it's going to work. If we
Okay.
fly,
Yeah.
I'll go to all of them.
Okay.
If you all drive, because you have a lot of equipment, and it's places that I can go nonstop, I'll meet you there.
Okay, perfect. I like when people set their boundaries, manage our expectations.
You know what? It's funny. I
got you.
don't.
And we already know Essex House.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm home to suites wherever we go.
Yeah.
I I mean, more than like 2 hours, it's just too far to drive.
I hear you. I hear you.
If I could figure out how I would fly between my house and the Mall of America, that is my.
Which is a 20-minute drive, everybody.
Yeah,
just, to
max,
be, just to be
max.
clear.
Yeah,
in
but
traffic.
if I could figure out how, I would just.
Our little Jetsons car.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I just, you know. So yeah.
Oh, Patric, you're so wonderful for doing this.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
this
much.
was so much fun.
We adore you.
Oh, we
So
do.
much
You
fun.
had fun. And now laundry's fun, everybody.
Yeah, laundry's so much fun. It's just almost as fun as this podcast.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Becky, for setting it all up.
Absolutely.
We're so happy you were here, and we're so happy you were all here. We'll put all of Patric's information into the show notes. We'll also promote them on our social media channels. So make sure you tune in there and give him a follow as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, a quick reminder, you guys, our first supporter of our podcast, it's Daily Fascia. Daily Fascia offers the most practical, easy to follow techniques to help you unlock your body's hidden potential. It's for freedom, it's for flow, it's for relief. If you're struggling with recurring injuries, stiffness, or you just want to move more freely, Daily Fascia has got you covered. You're going to use the code HAPPY50 to get 50% off your first course at dailyfascia.com. We have all the information for her different coursework, her YouTube channel, all listed and tagged below. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you, but if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.